Hello again, time for another edition of the Great Model Railway Giveaway. This time we have something fairly modern to us. It's a wagon repair works, the DAHPR Wagon Repair Works. Sort of loosely based on the version at Long Itchington, but an intent to show that you can build a nice small space railway with plenty of detail and also something to do and operate. Now, this layout was built in the March, Spring and April editions of 2022 BRM magazine, and so you can actually look back and follow all the build that goes on there. The layout itself is quite interesting. It's got an interesting shaped plywood baseboard. You can see it's got a curved front to it, and the track plan sort of zigzags back and forth with a three-way point in the middle. And the idea is that you've got a fiddly yard on this end that has got cassettes on it and allows you to shunt stuff. So you effectively use it as part of the run round loop when you bring stuff on. I envisaged it that trains would come in here and they would be shunted around, and wagons, tired and knackered wagons, would put into the shed for refurbishment, and refurbished wagons would find their way out. It's a great little place for a small industrial shunter, the sort of thing that there is so popular nowadays, and we'd assumed it would be diesel, but there's no reason why you shouldn't look at backdating this layout to steam. It's probably the most complete layout that we're giving away, because everything is actually wired up. You can see there's a panel there with buttons on. You're going to need to provide your own controllers and also your own transformers, that sort of thing. But as you can see, the wiring is all in place, and as far as I know, it works. You can plug a Gauge Master handheld controller into here, Gauge Master transformer into here. That's how we worked it, but you may have something different that you want to use. There is, say, all the points work, and the lights on the buildings will come on and off as well if you put the 9-volt batteries in there. Look, we've even got a capacitor discharge unit built into the bottom there. The layout itself isn't huge. It is, out with the measuring stick, it is let's say 120 centimeters long. At its widest it is 40 centimeters, and it is 26 centimeters tall. There's actually a wooden cover to go over the top of this to protect it in transit, bolts into the ends. There is a fiddly yard table for you to work with, and the aim was to use some sort of loco, one of these sort of loco lifts from Pico or something on those lines to use as the cassettes on the end of the operating. I think we've actually got a couple. If I can find them, they'll come out with the layout when we give it away. Because yes, we are giving this away. We need the storage space for this layout, and it's got to go to a new home. So that's what we're looking for. What I need you to do, if you would like this layout, what you need to do is think about how you would develop it, and then drop me a line, a couple of 100 words or so, to phil.parker@warnersgroup.co.uk, and I'll have a quick look through them, and the person who's got the most interesting ideas for developing the layout or taking it out or doing something with it will win the layout. The other rule is you've got to come and collect it yourself from Bristol Show. This layout will be on the BRM stand at Bristol Show, and we will help load it in the back of your car. But that's it. We're not delivering it anywhere. It will go to Bristol, and it will go in the back of the winner's car. We'll talk to you about how we do that. Ideally, we'd like to do it on a Sunday, but to be honest, it can go anytime you like, whenever's convenient to you. All we want is a good home for this layout. Now, what could you do with it? Well, as I say, we've assumed diesel. You've got some horrible diesel mucky patches in there, but you could perhaps replace some of the more modern buildings, go for steam. You could put more detail on this layout. It's actually reasonably detailed already, but there is definitely scope for improvement there. You can look at taking this to shows. This would be a nice little exhibition layout. You could sit at a show. It would get you onto the exhibition circuit really early, and ideal because it'll go in the back of your car. You could take it very easily. You'll need to provide some electrics. You'll need to provide some legs. What you see is essentially what you get. There's no stock, there's no electrics other than the ones attached to the baseboard. There is no lighting rig. It could really do with a lighting rig building. And you're on your own after that one, but hopefully this will give you a flying start. So we'd love to give somebody a flying start into the hobby with a layout. But as I say, there is work to do. As with all our giveaways, there is work to do, because we want to encourage you to get on with some modelling. And then a year's time, actually, we would love to talk to you and see how you got on with the layout. Did you take it out of shows? Did you develop it? What did you do? How can you help people who, let's be honest, probably do want a little bit of advice about how they can move their modelling on? So we're going to give you a bit of a chance to have a go at that. And as I say, we want to find the DAHPR Works a good home. So you know what you've got to do. 200 words telling us what you'd love to do with the layout to phil.parker@warnersgroup.co.uk, and I'll get back to you and we'll have a chat and see if we can find this somebody who can care for it in the future. Thanks.